Now, in case you guys haven't noticed, we're actually on a setup day at SEMA show. We're giving you an inside scoop that nobody gets to see. It's kind of chaos right now, but in a few hours, this is going to be amazing. And corny segue, speaking of amazing, John, oh my goodness, look at this car. I'm looking at detail that I can't imagine how much time it took. Please tell me about this beautiful car.
Well, this is a 1962 Corvette Roadster that we built for a customer. We went out to Detroit and tried to compete for the Ridler with this car. We did pretty well, but of course we didn't win. But you know, you got to try. Okay, well, we started with an SR3 chassis that we beefed up because we knew we were going to do 1,000 horsepower or so. So we did that, and we got a 598-inch big block with a Vortec Supercharger, and we actually dynoed 1,086 horsepower.
Oh, wow.
So from there, the customer actually had a 62 Corvette that was on the second level of a barn in pieces. So you can imagine the wreck that we got.
Yeah.
But you know, we knew that it could be rebuilt. You know, that's the nice thing about what we do.
Yeah, yeah. So fiberglass is a little bit different animal. Explain how this would be different in the reconstruction of this vehicle as opposed to a steel car.
Well, with you doing with fiberglass, you always have the dry times, saturation, things like that. And with the many body modifications as we did, you've always got to give that time to dry out so that way you don't trap solvents and things like that. So one of the things that we did is once all the fiberglass modifications were done, we went back and re-gel coated everything, and then we let that sit for a few months just to make sure that everything was good and dry before we actually started to do the priming and the blocking for all the major bodywork.
For me, fiberglass gives me a sense of freedom to where I can do stuff that I can't do with steel. And obviously, you've gone nuts with this thing. Walk around some of the fiberglass mods.
Well, starting in the front, the bumpers are all tucked and pinched. So they are literally kind of molded up into the body. The headlight rings and the trim has all been fiberglassed in. The sides, we doubled up the gills just to give it a little bit more of an aggressive look. We added a set of C6 Corvette door handles and even added a brake duct down into the body.
And it's functional. There's a screen on the back. It's a functional cooling duct and beautiful 20-inch wheels.
The windshield is an original windshield that has been chopped down 3 inches. We dropped that down because we wanted that chop top look. Then we have no roof anymore, so it is a full-time Roadster now. The A-pillars actually have a little camera into them, so there's no side mirrors.
No side mirrors.
Another thing that kind of cleans up the side of the car, the trunk lid and the hood both motorized on linear actuators. Another little trick thing that you don't have to have, but it's a cool factor. The rear bumpers are tucked. The cool thing that we did on the bumpers these are the original steel bumpers that everybody chromes. Everybody's used to seeing them chrome. Well, I talked to the customer about doing a satin finish look. So we painted these hyper silver with a satin clear coat, and it gives it more of that kind of modern feel.
Well, it also, to me, you're expecting to see them chrome. They're not chrome. It's a muted look. It's a very tasteful look, but it makes the polished billet accents that you've got really pop. Your steering wheel, your grab handle on the other side, everything that's shiny, your hoops on your wheels, it just really accentuates that.
Well, one of the things that I liked about that is it also ties in, the hyper silver Cray wheels. When you're looking at the overall view of the car, and that's one of the things that we've talked about, is the overall look of the car. The way you tie in colors and tastes and even the satin clears you're seeing a lot of guys use now in the stripes. And of course everybody expects to see a shiny clear coat on the car, which we use Pro Spray. We're here in the Pro Spray booth. They're a company that we've been using for a long time. We really like them. But the satin clear coat is a nice little taste off of just seeing everything shiny like a lot of people are used to.
Well, when you use it tastefully, it becomes an accent in itself, and it's very well used on this car for sure.
Thank you. One of the other things that we've done on this is a full custom interior. We took a set of regular racing seats and chopped them down. The Corvette isn't a very big interior.
No.
And a regular set of racing seats, they'd be sticking up 14 inches out of the top of the car. So we chopped those down. On the interior, in the door panels, we actually did the same grille insert as what's on the front of the car and then backlit it with LEDs, so you get kind of that balance between the outside and the inside again.
How long ago was this build done?
This build has been done for about 6 months,
Okay.
and it took about 2.5 years to do this car.
Right. Here's one thing I wanted to ask you about. You told me it's a blow-through carburetor. Tell me about the air cleaner. What is it?
Well, essentially this is just an aesthetic piece. One of the things I didn't like about the blow-through hat is it's a very small, you know, kind of miniature looking, you know, so to say, compared to what a normal air cleaner would look like.
Yeah.
And it made the motor look smaller than it really was. So, and this, we also have the Holley Efi system on this car as well.
Right.
This was actually one of the first of the large horsepower Terminator Holley systems available.
Well, one other thing I want to touch on is that you've got, is it 20s on the front and 19s? On the,
Yes.
20s on the back, 19s on the front. You seem to have an inner sense of that balance. Do you listen to the customer? Is it your aesthetic taste?
You definitely have to work with the customer because their vision sometimes is unrealistic. And when you get the car done, the last thing you want to do is, oh man, that doesn't look right, or this is too big. But a lot of times, you know, when they come into the shop and you show them all the pictures of the things that we've done, we've been in business 26 years, so I have a lot of things that I can show them. And I think when they look at those things, they realize that sometimes they need to listen to somebody that's doing this other than just, you know, somebody else that maybe tells them, hey, I need a 22 on there.
Yeah.
They don't all need to be 22s.
Right. Let's jump ship again. ProSpray is obviously a good partner to you. I'm seeing some real vibrance in this paint. Walk me through the color selection and then talk to me about the realistic fire. That looks fantastic.
This is actually a 5-color color fade from top to bottom. It's called Mango Tango Copper, and then it fades down 5 different colors to a darker burnt orange on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I put a tri-coat ice pearl over top of that. Then I airbrushed the cove, if you see the little beveled edge silver on the outside of that, and then did the True Fire flames inside the cove. We went back and forth on whether we should do the real fire or not, so I decided to go ahead and do the panel and show the customer.
Yeah.
And he was back and forth, and then he saw it, and he's like, gotta have it.
Well, this car is outstanding, very nice stuff. But not everybody can get to SEMA show. How can somebody find the custom shop if they're not in Vegas or not in your hometown?
Sure. Well, we're located in Flanagan, Illinois. We have a website. It's thecustomshop.co. They can call us at 815-796-2772. I'd be happy to talk to them.
Cool. And you got a lot of pictures of the work that you've done, projects in the works.
We have about 8,000 pictures on our website.
It's a great website. If nothing else, if you want to look at some cool cars, go to the Custom Shop website. John, thank you, man.
Thank you very much.
Have a great SEMA show, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.